Welcome to Rewriting Reality. I am Shiraz. I will be your reality shifting specialist. I actually had a guest today and not sure what happened with the communication, but not here. Probably have to do it next month. In any case, what I'm going to do is there's always some attendees that show up, and I'm just going to start working on people today. And look at that. See, someone's already shown up. So if you are in the mood for some clearings and want to get some beliefs shifted, this is the opportunity to do so. And I'm just making sure we're sharing on Facebook. We are good. Got the comments open. Wow, it's actually got the live transcript going on. I've never seen that on Facebook. What I really enjoy with the live transcript is that oftentimes when I say beliefs, it types police, and we'll see if that happens. I'm watching it right now. Oh, it got it right this time. But I've seen that happen over and over again. So we're going to start with Ata, if Ata wants to come up and get some shifting done. There she is. Hello. You need to unmute.
Hello.
There it is. Okay. How you doing?
I'm okay. So as I had mentioned, I feel like I'm like spiritually, I'm ready to step onto another level, but I'm still mentally holding myself back because I fear that I will not be able to protect myself from people that may want what I have as a gift and as a talent. So I feel like I'm in fear of losing control of what I got or it being taken without my permission.
Okay. Have you had a history of things being taken without your permission?
Well, I've helped people in the past and they've basically impersonated me with what I've helped them with. They've tried to offer what I've offered them. So it's like it's like when I help them through the healing process, they take it on and go and try to offer that same service, but I feel like I've never been credited. And then they would come and speak to me more to get more out of me and then offer it, like they would offer it as me as opposed to allowing me to offer it myself. And
Okay.
I don't even take compensation when I do help people. So it just feels like people steal from me and I can't control it because when I step into the mode of helping others, I am not like I just give. I just do it purely and like I don't know when to stop. I don't know when I'm oversharing and over giving.
Okay. So when you help people and use your gifts, do you have to do it for free?
No,
It's not actually coming up true.
this is not Shiraz.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that when you use your gifts to help people, you have to do it for free?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is when you do something, when you use your gifts, people can try to copy that, but they're not going to get the essence of who you are when they copy it. So they can try to teach the same lessons, but it's not going to be as effective because they're not being them, they're trying to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that doesn't work out for people. And when you're worried about people taking what you have and just using it for themselves, you're in this place of lack because there are more than enough people out there that need your help, that you can give and give and give. And some people can take it and steal it and try to use it, but you'll still have plenty of people. So what's happening is the ego that says, well, anyone that does what I've taught them needs to credit me. is
Mhm.
actually going to restrict how many people you work with, because there's the potential that every person you work with could go out and use your gifts or your teachings, not your specific gifts because those are yours. And because you don't want that to happen, you minimize how many people show up to work with you.
Yeah.
Now, when you don't care and you go ahead, try it, see what kind of results you get from the energy of theft, from the energy of copying rather than giving credit or learning and honoring who you work with. Well, when they're in that space, it doesn't work out well for them.
Mhm.
So, are you willing to step out of the story that every time you help someone, they're going to steal your gifts?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to minimize how many people you work with to minimize how many people try to steal from you?
Yes.
Is it wrong to get paid for helping someone?
No, it's not. But it's like um, I've helped two people without compensation, and then another person came to ask for help. I said, yes, you're gonna have to pay me, but I'll do it for half the price. And even at that rate, they didn't want to help. They didn't want the help anymore. So then it makes me feel like I'm not going to be able to help anybody because nobody can afford help. And am I supposed to be offering this for free? But then I know I can't offer it for free because I have bills to pay and I have to eat as well. So then it's like, okay, nobody's going to come because nobody wants to pay. And I don't want to give it for free. So then let me just shut it off. Let me just not offer anything because I don't know.
Okay, but remember that your stories are creating your reality, and
Yeah.
it's determining who's showing up for you. So if you believe that you're supposed to offer these gifts for free and you believe no one's going to pay for it, those are the only people that are going to show up in your life just to confirm your beliefs and create more evidence to support that belief.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people out there with money. There's a lot of money out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when you step into that world that there's all these people willing to pay for my help, those people will start to show up.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the other thing is you help people for free and they referred people who of course want it for free. So if you stay within that pool, just physically working with those people, you're always going to end up with people that are not willing to pay for your services because you've been giving it away for free.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When I started out and I would work on people for free, one of the caveats was, well, if I work on you for free, I'd like a testimonial to put on my website so that I could build these testimonials so that when I ask for money, people go to my website and say, oh, look, this person said this and this person said this and this person said this. So they were actually paying me that way. Right? But you don't have to do it that way if you're, that's one way to do it, but you can also just go to a different space and start promoting your gifts. So where are you going right now?
So right now, like with the last two experiences, the people that didn't pay, um, like they've spoken and said their appreciation, and I just taken that and used it as my own testimonials. Like I just shared that as the testimonials because they didn't do it openly, they just did it privately. And like these are the same people that I feel go and try to offer the same services. So I feel like maybe I'm stealing that. I'm taking that energy of stealing this, like, oh, you don't
Yep.
want to show everybody that I'm helping you. So I'm going to take you saying thank you for helping me and show that I'm actually helping you since you don't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah, and I advise you not to do that. If you get a testimonial, you get the permission from that person through a testimonial, and that's why make the agreement before I help you. If it works for you, give me the testimonial.
Mhm.
All right, and yeah. So then there's all this anger, this frustration, this envy of what's going on with these people you're working with. So again, what if you started working with people outside that circle you're in right now?
I didn't know I was in a circle, but I don't know. I think,
Well, it's a circle of two people and the person they're referred to. So it's a very small circle right now.
yeah, right now it's a small circle in the sense that these are people that like reach out to me to ask, but it's like it's not people that I've reached out to. They've reached out to me as opposed to I reaching out. Like I've put it out there to promote myself, but I don't really get many people coming in. It's just
Okay. So when you say you put it out there, what does that mean?
like I've offered the services and made and posted that it's available, but
Where?
I like on my Instagram.
Okay. Do you have like a huge Instagram following?
It's a decent amount.
Okay. So there's so there's ways to get people off of various social medias, but then there's also you having to put yourself out there. So it's easier to just post on Instagram, okay, this is what I do, and then just sort of see what trickles out there. But if you are actually going out to network, to speak, to going to places where people are expecting to do business and promoting yourself, you're much more likely to get people that are willing to pay because that's the environment you've stepped into. But when you're just working with people that you know that come up to you and say, can you help me? Well, then a lot of times there's no expectation of payment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So you need to start going to networking events. You need to start getting on podcasts and talking about yourself. You need to be on speaking gigs. You need to do whatever it takes to make yourself visible and get your message out there and make people aware of your gifts so that people will say, oh my God, I need to work with Ata and get this stuff resolved. And it's interesting because we're having this conversation, but you haven't actually said what this gift is.
I think it's a gift of healing and helping others process certain things that maybe it's difficult for them, or like processing issues that maybe they don't talk to others about. Like just being there for people, I find helps them. Like people, a lot of people find that they can confide in me. So they'll tell me things that they wouldn't necessarily tell other people. And I help them like understand like how they can process those things or process those emotions. And it seems to help a lot of people.
Okay, good. So now you just need to create a package around that. Tell, promote how it's going to affect the people, the results they're going to get, and then, put that price out there and get people to come in.
Okay.
Okay. So it's interesting because I can just sort of feel your energies. Like, do you want this to be a business?
I do want it to be a business in the sense that it's something that helps others, and if it's something that I feel is very valuable and is worth a lot. So I would be, if I was allowing myself to get what I'm worth, it would help me get to a place where I can help even more people and help myself as well. But it's like I think I'm just still in fear of becoming bigger than I am now. I think I'm still in that place of I'm comfortable here and it's scary to move from where I'm at, because I keep telling myself, hey, maybe I should start vlogging, maybe I should start a podcast, but I keep putting the limitation of when I move out of here because I don't like this place. So it's like if I started to do that, I would be able to move out of here much quicker. But then that's what I'm using as, no, I have to wait till I move out of here. But it's like that's what's going to help me move out of here.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you can only create the success you want once you've moved out? There is resistance.
I'll lie to you and say yes.
Okay, well, that's not a real yes. So we both know that.
Yes.
Okay, why would it only be possible to create success after you move out?
Because I don't feel like this is a healthy environment for me, and I don't feel like I'd be offering good quality stuff. I feel like I'd always be restricting myself because I don't feel like this place is healthy for me, and I'm not going to perform my best when I don't feel like I'm being my best, or I don't feel free.
But if you need to be your best to get out of there and you've decided you can't be your best while you're there, how are you going to get out of there?
I don't know, Shiraz, zap me out of here.
I don't do the zapping. I give you the opportunity to zap yourself.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's just a restriction that I'm placing on myself just because I feel comfortable. So I want to be complacent in a
Mhm.
sense of being complacent is comfortable and I know how it works and I can control certain things from here. It's when I move out of here, then it's going to be a different thing that I'm not used to. It's going to be success and I'm used to struggle and survival. So it's like, how would I deal with that? Would I mess it up and then end up back here? Like it's, I think it's a lot to unfold. It's a lot to
Okay.
process because it's just all in my head.
Yep. And let's just look at it logically and what the possible outcomes are. So you don't do anything, so you never achieve success. You're just stuck there and you're not happy, right? Or you create success and it doesn't work for you. So you have success for a little while and then you end up back where you were.
Mhm,
But now instead of just constantly being where you were, you've had this experience of success.
mhm.
Or you do it again and again, and you have multiple experiences of success, but end up back where you were. Or you create success and you stay in success, and then even create more success moving from there. Every possibility except the one you're staying in allows for moments of happiness, success, and growth. And you're choosing the one you're staying in.
Yeah.
So, are you willing to step out of the story that it's better to stay where you are than to create success and possibly end up back where you
Yes.
are?
Wow, that was big.
Okay. Why do you think you wouldn't be able to handle success?
Because I've always had it temporarily. I've never had it permanently.
How did you feel when you had it temporarily?
I felt good, but it's like, okay, this is only going to last for a certain amount. And then I'm going to go back through the cycle of take like enjoying this piece. And then I'm going to have to end this off so I can enjoy the next piece. It's like when I was
Okay.
traveling, I would travel to one destination, have a good experience, come back, then go to another destination, have a better experience, come back, then go to another destination, have another experience and come back. So I think that's what it is.
Okay. But what's wrong with doing that?
What's wrong coming back?
Okay. But here's the thing.
But when I came back, it wasn't horrible. When I came back, it was okay. I'm happy to be back.
Okay. So it still sounds like a pretty cool life. Like there are people that never go out there in the first place. They're always just stuck there. But you're going out, having success, coming back, and then choosing the next adventure, choosing the next adventure. Is that for some people that would be a definition of success?
Hmm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that because you kept coming back, you were never successful?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that every time you create success, you always end up coming back?
Yes.
Because it's interesting, because when you started telling the story, you didn't have any doubt that, oh, well, when I go out to create success, I come back. Like that's your story. That's, you've decided. There was no, there was complete certainty in that. And if there's complete certainty, then you're going to create it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you create certainty around the fact that I'm going to create bigger and bigger success each time I go out to the point where I don't have to come back, then that's what you'll create.
Mm-hmm.
But your certainty up until this moment has been, I always come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you love about being back?
I think I just like the comfort to come back and um, just reset. Because when I come back, this is not something that I cherish too much. So it's like here, I don't care about anything. I'm cool to just stay in my little space and ground myself and just rebuild
Okay.
for the next thing.
All right. So notice this. You're trying to make sure you don't create anything that you end up caring about.
I think so.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure you don't create something you care about so you don't have to worry if you lose it?
Yes.
So what if the thing you come back to is $1 million home? And then in a couple of years, the thing you come back to is a $5 million home. And it's the place you can still kick back and not have to worry and just be you. But the default settings of what you come back to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
That'll be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Except that didn't come up true, right? So that's the problem.
Oh man. I think I don't believe that it's possible. I think that's what it is.
Okay, why would it not be possible?
It is possible.
Okay, but you just said I don't believe it's possible.
Yeah, I think I've gotten myself to a place where I don't believe that I would be able to have that to myself. So I don't want to get it because then I would have to share with everybody else, even those that don't deserve it.
Okay, so and this is a big problem with what's going on and why you're not creating. Why do you have to share it with everyone?
I think I'm just, I don't know. I just do too much for everybody. I
Okay,
just feel like, I guess maybe I don't know if they're capable of getting it for themselves, and I don't want to feel selfish, and I don't want to
ooh,
deal with people feeling jealous or envious. So I'd rather just share with them so they don't want to take what I have.
okay. So look at this, all this fear.
It's crazy, eh?
Yep. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to give away what you have before people try to take it?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you're responsible for taking care of the people that don't have what you have?
Yes.
Do you have specific people that are going to try and take what you have?
Um, yes.
Okay.
No, it's not, well, it's more people that I would feel entitled to have to give to. Like there's, yeah, I think the specific people would be my family.
Okay. So why are you in? Why are you entitled to have to give things to your family?
I think it's just how I was growing up. It was what I was told that I had to give. I had to take care of them. I couldn't just leave them. And then I think I just grew up with that. And this is something that we've been working on for a long time, and it keeps coming back.
Yeah. How much time do you spend with your family?
I don't spend a lot of time with my family, but recently I've been spending time with them because of funerals and stuff. And
Okay.
then when the funerals happen, then I'm spending too much time with them, where I'm seeing them every single day.
Yeah. So when you're around them, you step back into their stories.
Step
So
back in cycles. Yeah.
the old patterns come back.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, but it's just a natural thing. You're around those people, the stories come back.
Mhm.
So let's start there. Are you willing to step out of the story that whenever you're around your family, you have to go back to the old patterns?
Yes.
And keep in mind, if you're growing up and you're being told you're not allowed to go, you have to take care of the family, you're being told that by people who are not willing to be responsible for themselves, so they're trying to put it on you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're being sold a lie, and then you start living it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to be responsible for the rest of your family?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason this comes back over and over again is because it's been part of you growing up. And unless you're hitting it on a regular basis, it creeps back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like pulling blocks out of a Jenga tower, but
Mm-hmm.
you didn't pull out enough to make the Jenga tower fall. And then because you're not constantly pulling the blocks out, you actually start putting the blocks back in. And then you're like, well, now it feels like I'm back where I started again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to, once you do the clearings, if you feel it creeping back, then you do the clearings again. And remember, I'm asking you, are you willing to step out of the belief? So I'm not clearing the beliefs in you. I'm asking you, are you willing to do it? When you say yes, you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you're not working with me, when you feel it coming in, you can just say, I'm stepping out of that belief. I'm stepping out of that story. Whatever it takes, when you feel it coming in, you step out and step out and step out. And eventually you won't go back in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting into that awareness of, oh, there it is creeping in again. No, not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would happen if you didn't take care of your family?
They would be jealous and envious, and then they would die, and then I would feel bad that they died and I didn't help them.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that your family will die if you don't help them?
Yes.
Oh, that's not actually moving. See, this is interesting because, they've helped put it there, but there's such a place of ego that my family will die without me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if I create big success, I have to help my family and give them everything I have.
Mm-hmm.
So you never create success for a long time, and you never create it at home because they're here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to leave, create the success wherever you are, get rid of it, and come back home so they have nothing to take.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. So
Exactly what it is.
this is the life you've constructed just so you can take care of your family while not taking care of your family by not having enough to take care of them with, and not feeling guilty because you have too much.
Yeah.
But the choice is, you know what? I'm not going to take care of them. They're grown-ups. They can take care of themselves. And I'm not going to feel guilty if I have a lot and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to feel guilty if you have a lot and your family doesn't?
Yes.
See, and this is not about not giving a crap about your family. This is about loving your family, but letting them create their own lives. And when you're in the space of, you know what, I got lots right now, I feel like giving a gift to some people in my family, then you're doing it out of the space of giving and generosity rather than commitment, obligation, and feeling guilty if you don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. And here's the thing, based on how you've described it, if you have a lot, they're going to try and get it. They're going to be like, no, you're part of the family. You're responsible. You should give. You just got to say no. Like, that's your story. I've made my success on my own, and I can choose what to do with my money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to have those conversations, you won't create the money to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Like just the other day, my sister asked me to pick her up. I picked her up. She said she was hungry. I said, do you want to go to Tim Hortons? I let her order her food, and then I pulled up and let her pay for it. And I felt so proud of myself that I didn't pay for it. I was like,
Good.
wow, I can actually say no, and it works out.
Nice. Okay, now you just got to keep doing that.
Yeah.
Right. So saying no is incredibly powerful. It's actually freeing.
Very.
Right. So, and the more you can say no without even needing an excuse, the freer you're going to become.
Mhm.
Now, that's not going to mean you're going to say no all the time, because now when you want to say yes, it comes from choice and not obligation.
And that's funny you say that too, because my cousin had asked me to go pick something up for her. And I said, I don't want to go anywhere right now. So I'm not doing it. And then I left. And when I was coming back, I said, okay, now I'm outside. I can grab it for, I went to grab it, it was gone already. But I was like, Shiraz would be so proud of me because I said no. But then when I wanted to do it, I did it. And even though it didn't work, I don't feel a sense of I disappointed anybody because I was doing it on my own time and on my own accord. So like I was proud of myself in that as well. And so it's like I'm getting better at having these boundaries and having the ability to say no, but there's still times where I still say yes, even though it's really a no. It's like I'm practicing.
Yeah. And here's the thing, you have to lock on to every time you said no and it's worked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because what's going to happen is the more you lock onto that evidence, the more of that evidence you'll start to see in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it's just going to start to be the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
And not the anomaly. Because right now it feels like the anomaly. Oh, it was 2 times. Sure, I would be proud. I've done it twice. But eventually it'll just be, no, you know what? I don't even think about it now. It's just like, that's a no, that's a no, that's a no. You know what? This feels like a yes. I'll do a yes this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the other thing is you'll be training your family, because when you're staying firm in your no's, they'll get used to that and they'll stop asking.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you give to them, it'll actually be a gift because they're not even asking. You're just like, you know what? I felt like buying you guys all dinner. Here you go.
I did. I actually did that. I did do that.
All right.
I went and bought everybody dinner. And when I got to the restaurant, the lady's like, so what are you going to eat? And I said, oh, I ate before I even came. And like, I felt good because it was like, I'm vegan. So I had gone to a vegan restaurant, got food for myself. I was full. And then I said, they look hungry. What do you guys want to eat? And I went to a meat spot and got them all food. And when I would be asked, what are you going to eat? It's like, oh, I'm not going to eat anything, or I'll just have a side. And it's like, at that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, I took care of me first. And I made sure I was full before I tried to pour into anybody else. And that was such a good feeling for me because it's usually the other way around.
Mm-hmm. So good. You're
I'm
learning.
a big girl now. I'll be Shiraz. I'm a big girl now.
Yeah. Okay. Look at you all grown up.
But that was good. So I guess
Okay.
there is some evidence that these shifts are doing more now as I'm practicing it and I'm actually putting it into work.
Yep.
I see a lot of change. I see a lot of difference. It's
Okay.
just now there's an abundance that has come and I've halted it because I'm still testing myself to see if I'm still capable of doing this where I'm at, as opposed to when I have an abundance of money and it's like, oh, I don't care, I can just do this.
Yeah. And when it comes to having an abundance of money, here's the thing. When you don't have a lot of money, you tend to budget your money, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a lot of money, you should budget your money. Okay.
Okay.
It should not change. Right. Now, the way I budget my money, and I think you've come to the money class.
Yeah, we did the money class.
We did the money class. So if you've got 10% of your money for having fun, which includes spoiling your family, you never go beyond that 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, you know you're not budgeting. You know you're just there feeling compelled to spend money, to look like a good person, to be liked, to do whatever. But the difference between, someone that makes $100,000 a year that gets $10,000 to have fun with, and a person that makes $1 million a year that gets $100,000 to have fun with. So the person with $100,000, it looks like they're spending all their money because it's coming from a perspective of, well, that was all my money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the person with $1 million is still only spending 10%.
Yeah.
So let the money flow in and stay on a budget.
Okay.
Okay. And as long as you're doing that, everything's just going to work out, and stay strong in your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay. How's that feel?
Feels great.
All right. Was there anything else?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, cool. Thanks for being on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right. Well, what did we learn? We learned that there are, it's not just Ata. There's so many people out there that feel responsible for their families, have to take care of their families. And the big thing here is the have to. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your family if you're in a space of, I enjoy it, I want to. It makes me feel good to take care of my family, but where it's, I have to, or I will feel guilty, or they will not like me, right? Or, they will judge me and they will shame me. All that is low energy, it's negative thoughts, and it keeps you from creating a bigger, better life for yourself. And whether that's your immediate family or your partner or your best friends, that energy of having to take care of people can be crippling. And it can be literally crippling. And like in my case, I thought I was responsible for everyone in my life. I created arthritis and I was bedridden for a while just to get out of the responsibility. It's amazing what your body will do to you, but it could just be what your bank account does to you, right? It could be that you end up with no relationships, because if you have no relationships, you don't have to take care of anyone because there's no one around, right? When you can care without caring what they think, then you can have some amazing relationships. But most people don't do both. They either care and care what they think, or they don't care and they don't care what people think. And neither situation works out really well, right? Because you still want to care about people. That energy of caring goes out. It affects people. It makes them want to be around you, and it amplifies your success. But caring what people think gets you into worry, gets you into guilt, gets you into shame, and makes you start doing things you don't want to do. So, that's hitting a bunch of the audience right now. Cool. Okay. Wow. Congratulations. Big shifts. All right. So, as I said, I do not have a guest. I will have a guest next month. But for now, I think that was good. I feel like this is a good place to end. So I'm going to sign off. Have an amazing week. Don't forget to check out the Jacksons. What is it? Divine DNA. I always just call the show the Jacksons, but it's actually called Divine DNA on Wednesdays. And the Breakthrough Show, of course, has started up again, new season. Is it Friday? I don't know if it's actually this Friday. It's coming up. Well, it may not have started, may not have premiered, but it's going to premiere soon. Oh, March. It's going to premiere in March. I'm just rambling at this point. But in any case, you got to tune in to the Breakthrough Show and Divine DNA. And I think there's some new shows coming. So be on the lookout for that. This is Rewriting Reality. We'll be back on the last Monday of February. Be well, be aware, and be magical. Bye-bye.